What up, though, my G's? Y'all should know what it is. It's BKA Watts, one half of the Blerds and Clips podcast, right here on the Pro 3 ENT network with the superhero landing gas,
the award-winning Niggatron.
Spoiler warning. I'm telling you right now, don't act like you ain't know. Spoilers, baby, on Zack Snyder's Justice League. Don't do that.
I like it. Anyway.
Okay. See, because look, this shit was so much better.
Basically, I mean, a lot makes a difference if you actually take the time to, develop your characters and actually tell your whole story rather than telling bits and pieces and rushing through shit just to have a bunch of CGI, slow motion shit. So, I mean,
okay,
4 hours made a difference, but I mean, it's a cool 4 hours. And I mean, mind you, people, it's streaming. You don't have to sit there for full 4 fucking hours.
That's true.
Damn.
So this is on HBO Max only. It was actually shot for IMAX, so there are black bars on the side of it. Pretty much no matter what TV you got, unless you have a 4:3 TV aspect ratio, which is weird enough. But after a while, especially with how HD and crispy that shit is, you really don't notice it, and you are getting more in each shot. So I prefer it that way.
I don't ever pay attention to that shit. I don't even notice it until I see other reviewers talking about the aspect ratio. Like, I was sitting there watching the shit and had to think about it after the fact. Like, if it looks good, you don't really pay attention as much.
Well, see, this is the thing. Exactly, and it does. But I noticed it, though, when I cut it on, because I was like, wait, is there something wrong with my... What the fuck? And then I realized, shot for IMAX.
Right.
So, fucked me up for a second, but then I got right the fuck over it, and it was fine. Let's do it different. Let's go negatives first. And then that way we can end on a happy note with the positives and the things that we did like.
It's kind of like a massage, you feel that pain first, but then you get that happy ending.
Hey!
All right, so we kind of talked about this. There's not really a lot that I don't like other than the fact that there's a level of cheesiness to it, and still, even though most of the plot makes sense,
right, there's
still a lot of levels of it where it's convoluted mess. And there's a whole lot of retreading of certain things where it's just like, oh yeah, I'm Flash, and let me build up this electricity, so let me run really fast to build up enough charge to do blah, blah, blah. It's like, how many times you got to see that shit in one movie? But I mean, it still looked great, but nonetheless, that's probably like little nitpicking things for me.
Yeah, I mean, overall. I feel like you said earlier, you know what I'm saying? Give me all you got. You know what I'm saying? Give me everything you got. That shit, that's fine. This didn't need to be 4 hours to give us more context, better characterization, to give us more background and development on these people, to be able to flesh out those stories and make scenes and shots that we had in the 2017 Justice cut make sense. We didn't need 4 hours for that, but we did need some more clarity and need this shit to be right. Listen, that fucking shitty orangey red color grade that Josh put on the 2017, that shit sucked.
Well, definitely did, but I mean, like I said, it's the little things. It's no different than the whole thing of like, why did Superman put on that black suit? Like, that's no bad shit to me. Like, it's good for the black suit, but no real explanation. That's weird.
Something I noticed, so I watched it twice at this point. Almost every time.
Damn, 8 hours of your time?
You're talking to a nigga who saw Avengers 3 times within the first 24 hours that it was out. Matter of fact, within the first 16 hours that it was out. Because we saw that 7 o'clock, then at 10:30 or whatever, and then the next morning saw the one that was at 11 in the morning as soon as the theater opened.
Only got me that night and that morning, so I saw it. They took 6 hours of my time within a 12-hour period.
For sure. So I watched this shit on Wednesday and watched it again yesterday. In doing so, I felt like it kind of took the rose tinted glasses off, you know what I'm saying? So I could kind of just actually watch it and pay attention for real. And like I said, it didn't need to be fucking 4 hours. Almost every time Wonder Woman is in costume and comes on the screen, if it's not her theme, there's some Celtic bitch in the background, every time, bro. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, I didn't understand that why they weren't just going with her, super rock, theme music shit.
Yeah, it was weird.
And again, it didn't need to be 4 hours, but at the same time, like I said, if they would have made it episodic, I think it would have been better digestible to justify the 4 hours.
Look, the little title cards in between were kind of telling you hey, this is the beginning of the next chapter. So you can pause right there.
True. True.
And just kind of pick back up there. I did like that much because I thought it was just gonna be a thing where it was 4 hours and straight through. But this shit literally every X amount of, you know what I'm saying, time like has that cut. And it's like, all right, so you can go pee, get your popcorn, pause, this is the spot right here to do it. You know what I'm saying? So that was cool.
Yeah.
But whatever. There are not a lot of negatives to this shit. Keep it funky. And I enjoyed the shit out of myself watching this joint, especially by comparison. And I didn't hate the 2017 Justice League. It just wasn't good.
Right, nor did I. It just wasn't good, but I mean, like I said, we're at a disadvantage because we like this kind of shit anyway.
True.
So there's going to be that problem. But I mean, yeah, this one, that's why I said for me, I don't love Zack Snyder's one, but I mean, it's very enjoyable. I'll watch it multiple times, 4 hours and all, that kind of thing. It's very recommendable, but again, you know, it has little things, but just little things to bitch about. Like I said, it's a turn your mind off to a certain degree, even though you got to turn your mind off for 4 hours to watch this shit. But like I said, the fact that it's a lot more comprehensible as far as what's going on in the story, and people actually have real motivations versus that truncated version that they did in 2017. Because I mean, basically, long story short, is what we're looking at is that you didn't really get the whole idea of really fully giving a fuck about Cyborg, and you didn't really understand why Steppenwolf was even doing half of what he was doing. And this was their time to have all of that shit really explained out. And it's like, okay, I finally get motivations.
Right. There's not a lot to be like negative about. So let's roll into the positives. I will start with the fucking Wonder Woman bank scene was fire. The action there, the way that he shot that shit, not even barring, but like maybe it was just a little less fucking slow motion. That shit was dope. And I felt like it was a super improvement after watching the fuckery that was Wonder Woman 84, seeing her handle herself in this bank heist situation and seeing how fucking fast she is when she needs to be, which she probably needs to utilize
when it's convenient.
Pretty fucking much. Like, it's these moments in these shots that tell us that she's almost as strong as Superman from what they show, but when it's convenient type shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she took that headbutt. Either way, she took that headbutt and gave that nigga one back to them. She gave that nigga one and she took one and her fucking skull didn't crack in half. She ain't had a vision forehead after the fact.
I'm very disappointed I couldn't turn that into anything dirty, but whatever. Yeah, so I mean, that definitely, and just the fact that it felt a lot more tense and just even in the lead up to, which also catches me on one thing, and I'm since you watched it twice. I know everybody kept talking about the fact that it was technically rated R because it's a lot more, it's not really
bloodier,
gory,
guttier, and cussier?
Yeah, it's bloodier to a certain degree. I mean, it's a lot more visceral as far as a lot of the violence within it, but then there's also the idea of, you know, them talking about the F-bombs, and they said it was 2, but it's like, no, I definitely counted 3.
Yeah, no, there were 3.
Right, because the robbers or the terrorists, the one guy said fucking, and then you got fuck from Cyborg, and what was the third one?
Was it one from Batman?
I guess it might have been one from Batman. I just don't remember what.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, but I'm pretty sure there were 3.
Right. There was definitely 3.
Yeah, but like I said, bloodier, guttier, cussier.
Right.
For a fact, hands down.
But you can still let your kids watch it.
Yeah, sure, whatever. The color grading was, I much prefer this color palette, even though it's still that drowned out.
Yeah, because every time I look at Wonder Woman, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like,
it's red, still desaturated as Zack Snyder shit. Definitely, I see somebody else say, definitely a lot of music videos happen in this shit, for sure. But I definitely liked what they did with Cyborg, giving him more to do, giving more explanation, giving more background, seeing more of his family, seeing more of his internal struggle and more of his ongoing struggle with his father, seeing what he was going through, and also the integral part that he could play as a whole moving forward, and the integral part that he ended up playing in this shit was much more elevated by comparison to him just kind of being there in the background in the 2017 version and then having to separate the mother boxes.
Right.
Also, Flash.
Well, speaking of which, because you didn't like the scene with Flash and him trying to get a job where Iris West was there.
Well, I felt like old boy like legit had his head down trying to get that burger for like 40 seconds. Just riding down the street.
Yeah, that was a bit much. but nonetheless, Kiersey Clemens, nigga. I don't give a fuck. Like I said, I don't give a fuck what you say.
That's cool.
Kiersey Clemens, next time she's on screen, from dope to this, She is like one of the most beautiful lesbians ever. So, just saying.
Right. So
she's so adorable. Anyway,
I mean, like that, but no, like don't get me wrong, it was cool though. He had the one scene where they had the hostages and shit. Steppenwolf and his goons had the hostages or whatever.
Right.
So we still got our two. Well, we actually got 3 of the Flash scenes or whatever where he really get it popping or whatever. And that was cool. It was like it's like after you've seen the Evan Peters Quicksilver scenes, that's kind of what a speedster like has to do.
Yeah, basically.
Type shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like. It ain't really a way to make it better than that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can kind of do your own version, but it's still it's gonna feel like that no matter what. So we got those, and they're fine because that's what the Flash should be able to do. That last scene where he saves the fucking day and everybody fucking unblows up, that shit was dope.
Yeah, but it's always a damn shame. It's always that chicken or the egg situation where you got to get compared to goddamn Quicksilver, and Flash was first.
Absolutely, but
just in creation.
But that's DC fault. That's Warner Brothers fault. Them niggas have. See, this is the thing. Them niggas had money before Marvel. Niggas had a studio before Marvel.
Yeah.
And therefore have no reason to be this far behind. Damn you, Time Warner. See, that ain't our problem. That's y'all problem. Fix that. People are subscribing. People are watching, people are talking, people are reviewing. They gave him $70 million to do his reshoots and all the re-edits and everything else that he needs to do. He blew that fucking budget and made sure that it twerked for him one time. And the thing is, like, this shit fucking worked, bro. Especially by comparison. I feel like it was better than the other shits that he's done for the DC universe. I mean, with the exception of the fact that, like I said, I feel like Ezra Miller's in the air. We know Cyborg, we know Ray Fisher is out, so they'll probably have to recast. Affleck is supposed to be out, but he's still supposed to be doing Flash, so it may be possible to get him locked in. I'm not sure. I don't know, man. I just feel like the sequel possibility is like, we didn't feel like this was possible.
Well, yeah, but do you think he would come back for the integrity and, you know, the artistic nature of, you know, this being a success, or would it be money? Would it be money?
It would be money. So if this thing makes enough money, Warner Brothers will certainly back up that dump truck full of cash right over there, everybody's cribs, and try to get niggas back in place and locked in so they can put something together. It will be interesting to see.
And I want to throw asterisks in. So as much props as we try to give Zack Snyder for this shit, I want to also say is that he still gets an asterisk because you got a chance to make something better.
Yeah.
Not like he just came out and like, this is what it was. It's like, yeah, you get props, but it's like you gave you a mulligan. You got to read.
Right, but for the most part, this is what it was. For the most part, this should be what it was supposed to have been.
Okay,
in the first
you can say that shit, but George Lucas has taught me that motherfuckers are full of shit when they talk about what their ideas are. Yeah. If you don't actually see hit the screen until money makes you go, you know what? Maybe I should do this instead because you know people said this. So yeah,
for sure. I mean, you know what it is? I would like to see Zack's finished 2017 time-dated draft.
Exactly. That's what I'm
to
saying.
confirm that this is what it was supposed to be. Right.
Exactly.
Release the Snyder script.
Because again, just like I said, there's no way that, to me, that I'm fully feeling like he's responsible for that first version of Steppenwolf and how he looked and okayed that. So the idea that he came back and it was different is completely reactionary to people not liking how that first version looked.
I don't know, man, because this new version looked real cool, and like there are just plenty of dope moments, man. The old war when when Darkseid and the homies pulled up and tried to get it cracking and got that ass whooped. That was cool. We got to see some greasy 300 versions of the old guys, which was, I feel like, by them saying the old guys was a reference to the new guys, which is supposed to be coming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, making sure that they mentioned that these were the old guys. We only got one Lantern, but, you know what I'm saying, which they didn't name, call directly. It was, you know what I'm saying, protectors from the stars. What the fuck ever. The Amazons and the Atlanteans before they retreated to the sea. That fight was fucking dope, though. And the extended version of the fucking keep away game with the mother box that the Amazonians had.
Right.
That was pretty fucking dope, too. Like I said, there's just...
Well, all of the action sequences were better than the 2017 version, and then eliminating all that bullshit that Joss did. I mean, again, like I said, I can't think of any scenes that were in the original that were not in this, and I'm like, oh yeah, the other one was better. I can't think of a one.
No, I feel you. Like I said, the only thing was seeing Cyborg being able to get better control of the armor and manipulate it and make it look more like his comic accurate, which looked more sleek and less like a bunch of fucking little blocks and shit. Because the way that the body looked almost reminded me of how like the Transformers looked.
Right.
Which frustrated me.
That's what I said. The motherfucker looked like Megatron the whole goddamn movie. Like, I don't want to see that shit.
For sure.
Terrible.
But you should definitely be watching this thing, man. I have given this thing a shiny 8.5, which I think I'm okay with dialing back to just an 8 after the second viewing, and I'm solid there.
That's why I said 7-ish, like 7.5-ish. But also, you know, before we even kill that, because I mean, we didn't really talk about the nightmare sequence or the epilogue for the movie, which is also very important.
Oh no, so I was gonna let people think that we got to the end of the review and then just keep on going like they did with this shit.
Well, I guess you kinda did. So
nigga, cause goddamn, nigga, like this shit ended 5 times, dog. It was just like, come on, bruh. It was good. We was alright. Like, I was really wondering, like, damn, where the fuck is the nightmare sequence? Like, where are they gonna fit it into the joint? I felt like he just had a bunch of shits. He was just like, fucking throw it in there, just kind of put them together. They didn't line up. They didn't match. They didn't have a reason to go in the order that they went in. None of that shit.
Right. Well, I really thought of anything with them doing that, especially after they did the one false, well, not gonna say false ending, but the ending still like from the theatrical cut where Lex Luthor escapes from prison. He ends up having a conversation with Deathstroke. They don't really talk about the Injustice League, but they do still talk about the fact that he's, you know, wanting to kill Batman, and then for them to go to the epilogue where now it's all the dystopian future and he's actually rolling with Batman. Of course, they don't have time to explain it because they're really banking on a possible sequel of this happening. Right. But then my thing is that for all of the shit that Jared Leto coming back to shoot the scenes of the Joker, I was just tripping on the fact that I was disappointed because I really just thought they were going to allude to killing the idea or the speculation about is that Joker or is it Robin?
I was waiting for it too.
I was pretty disappointed that they didn't really go there to be like, yeah, it's Robin, because I can't really accept it in any other way. I can't accept that Joker is like he's that Joker. A lot of that shit doesn't make sense.
No, I feel it. Like I said, I was waiting for it too. I was definitely waiting for it.
So that's my only other real gripe, and that's just only a preference. It's not really a bad thing, but I was just really expecting that to be a thing.
No, for sure. I'm with you. Oh, other thing, which was just a random point that popped into my mind, but the fact that Martha Kent lost the fucking farm and Batman was hell-bent on doing this shit because he wanted to get everybody together and fix the world and save the world, which he swore to Clark on his grave that he would do. In the meantime, he just said, fuck this nigga Mom Dukes, bro. Like, so at the end, the fact that he bought the bank to get the house back, to get the farm back for her, was like...
So you're saying he did that kind of like when rappers do when they be like, yeah, I'm gonna hold you down when you're in prison.
Right.
They don't do shit to take care of your kids and all that shit. On top of the fact, like I said, we've had this conversation before. Batman just overall sucks. He would rather just go out and beat niggas' asses to try to stop crime rather than just use his billions of dollars to make it better.
And actually like reform the city?
Right, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so he's essentially a cop. Like, he literally like be doing what like the cops out here in the actual real world be doing. But, you know, neither here nor there.
Stop committing crimes! Like, yeah.
Quit it! You know what I'm saying? So listen, hey, real quick shout out to the homies over at New Day, New Route. Y'all see that right there? Hold on, check that out. Boom. They are a very dope athleisure brand. They're trying to promote you to get up off your ass and go do something. So make sure that you check them out because I got a link in the description for that lower. And as always, questions, concerns, comments, show subjects, any of that 24/7. Send those things to blerdsandclips@gmail.com. We're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. The Snyder Cut is good. Go watch that hoe. Let us know what you thought down below. I am BKA Watts.
And I'm the award-winning Vicatron.
We'll holler at y'all in the next one.